the one who came from nowhere. In July 2018, two hikers were making their way through the dense thickets of Big Cypress in Florida. These places are rarely visited, even by the most experienced travelers. There were no marked trails here, only swamps, rotting trees, and an eerie silence that made their ears ring. Something oppressive lingered in the air, creating the unsettling feeling that they were being watched. About an hour into their hike, they stumbled upon something strange. Between the trees stood a small yellow tent. It looked almost new, but something was off. A sense of an unseen presence, the damp, musty smell, the complete absence of sounds. No birds, no insects buzzing, just the hushed waiting forest. They exchanged glances. There were no footprints, no litter, no fire pit, as if the tent had appeared out of nowhere. Hesitantly, one of the hikers called out, "Hey, is anyone there?" No answer. A second attempt. Still silence. They cautiously approached and lifted the flap. Inside lay a man. He looked to be in his 40s, thin with an unshaven face as if he hadn't shaved in months. He was dead. Damn. One of them exhaled, stepping back. The body lay neatly, hands folded across the chest. It seemed like he had simply gone to sleep and never woken up. There were no signs of struggle, no scratches, no blood. No belongings around except for a notebook, carefully placed beside him. The hikers exchanged uneasy looks. "We need to call the police." But there was no cell signal. Leaving the tent, they hurried back to the nearest town to report what they had found. The mystery of his identity. When the police arrived at the scene, the body was still lying there, in the same position. After examining the area, investigators found no clues that could shed light on his identity. No documents, no credit cards, no phone. His fingerprints didn't match any database. He wasn't listed as missing or wanted. Only one strange detail. The last entry in the notebook beside him was short and chilling. "I'm already near." Near who? Near what? What did it mean? Trying to identify him, police shared his photo online. People began to share memories. Some had seen him on popular hiking trails, but he always kept to himself, never traveling with anyone, never staying in one place for long. Some remembered brief conversations with him, but no one knew his name. Others claimed he was friendly yet odd, never speaking about himself, never revealing his destination. Over time, the internet gave him a nickname, mostly harmless. But was he really? Strange coincidences. Weeks after his body was found, eerie details began to emerge. A woman claimed she had met him in the Oregon woods a year earlier. A man said he had seen him in the Appalachians in 2016. But here's the strangest part. He looked exactly the same. He hadn't aged. The same long hair, the same gaunt stare. Could he have survived in the wild for years, wandering endlessly? Or was there another explanation for his presence in different places at different times? Just when the case was about to be closed, investigators found footage from a trail camera in the preserve, taken 2 weeks before his death. In the video, the man is seen walking into the woods, heading toward his final camp. He moves. But something is following him. A blurry shadow among the trees, tall, with unnaturally long limbs. The police dismissed it as a trick of the light, a glitch in the camera. But why did everyone who watched the video feel like that thing was staring directly at them? The aftermath. The case of Mostly Harmless remains unsolved. His body was buried as an unidentified person. But hikers who take the same route through Big Cypress have reported seeing a yellow tent among the trees, even after it was long removed. Some claim that late at night, deep in the forest, they can hear a soft whisper. I'm already near. A solution or a new mystery? Years passed. The story faded, but not for everyone. In 2022, a hiker from Georgia posted a video online, retracing the same route. On the footage, the tent was gone, but a strange sound was caught by the microphone, a quiet, droning voice. And then for just a few seconds, a figure flickered between the trees, a man with an unshaven face and dark eyes. No doubt about it. It was him. Mostly harmless. But how? And what does he want?
We've all heard strange stories about the subway. Passengers who vanish, trains that don't exist on the schedule. But one story still haunts me. I heard it from a subway worker, someone who had seen things they couldn't explain. And after hearing it, I never sit in the last car again. Back in the late 90s, the city started expanding the subway system. New tunnels, new stations, everything was going according to plan. Until one day, construction workers broke through a tunnel. That wasn't on any blueprint. When they checked the records, they found something strange. A station was supposed to be there, but for some reason, it was never opened. The workers went inside, and what they saw didn't make sense. Everything looked untouched. Old advertisements on the walls, rusted benches, newspapers from decades ago. But the strangest thing, the lights were still on, as if the station had never been abandoned. The workers didn't investigate any further. A few days later, the tunnel was sealed, and no one ever spoke about it again. But after that, weird things started happening. Subway operators began seeing a train that wasn't in the system, a late-night train, always empty, running the same route. But that's not the worst part. Passengers who boarded the last car never got off. Security cameras captured people getting on. But when the train arrived, at the next station, the last car was empty, like they had just vanished. Some witnesses claimed they saw shadows moving inside, not people, something else. One subway security guard decided to test the legend. He waited until the last train of the night and stepped into the last car. The next morning, his coworkers found his bag, his radio, his uniform, neatly placed on a seat. But the guard himself was never seen again.